Ah, my dear children, gather close and listen well, for I have a story to tell. A story of a young girl, a whispering river, and a secret carried by the wind. Once in a quiet little village, there lived a girl named Azalea. She was a bright and curious child, always listening, always wondering. While other children played with wooden toys and chased the morning sun, Azalea would sit beneath the great oak tree, eyes closed, listening to the world around her. She listened to the rustling leaves as they danced in the breeze. She listened to the river's gentle babble as it tumbled over smooth stones. She even listened to the silence between sounds, the quiet spaces that most never noticed. But one day, as the golden sun dipped below the hills, Azalea heard something different. It was a sound unlike any she had heard before. A hum, a whisper, a voice carried on the wind. It called to her, soft yet steady, leading her toward the edge of the village, beyond the familiar fields, and into the deep green forest. Now Azalea was a brave girl, and her heart was filled with adventure. So, with only her small notebook tucked under her arm, she followed the sound, stepping carefully over roots and moss-covered stones. The deeper she went, the stronger the sound became, until at last she reached a clearing where moonlight shimmered upon a flowing river. The water moved in strange rippling patterns as if it were listening, waiting. Azalea knelt at the river's edge, peering into its silver depths. "Hello?" she whispered. And then something remarkable happened. The river answered. Not as a simple echo, no. This was different. Her voice bounced back to her, but twisted, changed. "Hell-loo," it sang like the chime of a distant bell. Azalea gasped in delight. "Who's there?" she called again. The river shimmered. "Who's there?" it replied, but softer, slower, like the wind weaving through the trees. She had never heard anything like it. It was as if the river was not just reflecting her words, but playing with them, bending them, turning them into music. And then from the rippling water a figure emerged. A woman, tall and graceful, with hair as fluid as the river itself. Her gown shimmered like moonlight on the waves, and her eyes held the wisdom of 1,000 flowing streams. "I am Rhonda," the woman said, her voice as soft as mist upon the water. "I am the spirit of this river, and you, young one, have discovered its secret." Azalea's heart pounded with wonder. "The river, it speaks?" Rhonda smiled. "The river listens," she said. "It listens to every sound, every whisper, every breath of the world. And here in this place, sound is alive. It dances, it sings, it transforms." Azalea's eyes sparkled. "But how?" Rhonda knelt beside her. "Sound is more than just noise, child. It is a ripple, a vibration, a wave that moves through the air, through the water, through the earth. Here, in the River of Echoes, those ripples do not simply return the way they came. They are shaped, stretched, woven into something new." Azalea ran her fingers through the cool water, watching how the ripples spread. "So the river changes sound, just like it changes the shape of the water?" "Exactly," Rhonda said. "Listen closely." Azalea cupped her hands and clapped them together. The sound echoed over the river, but as it returned, it did not simply repeat. It shimmered, softened, and became something like the rustling of leaves in the wind. She laughed in delight. "It's like magic." Rhonda chuckled. "It is the magic of the world itself. Everything around you has a voice, Azalea. The wind that hums through the trees, the water that sings against the stones, even the earth beneath your feet. It all speaks, if only you listen." Azalea sat in awe, realizing that sound was not just something she heard, it was something she could feel. It was movement, it was energy, it was life. "But why does the river change the sounds?" she asked. Rhonda's smile was wise and knowing. "Because sound is a gift. It is not meant to stay the same. Just as a river flows and a bird's song shifts with the seasons, sound must travel, must grow, must change." Azalea thought for a moment. "So, if I sing, will the river sing back to me?" "Try it." Taking a deep breath, Azalea began to hum a gentle melody, a tune she had heard her grandmother sing on rainy mornings. The river listened, the water shivering with every note. And then, the river hummed back. But it was no mere echo. The sound swirled, deepened, became richer, fuller, like the notes had been wrapped in mist and moonlight before returning to her ears. Azalea's heart swelled. "It's beautiful." "The river does not simply reflect, child," Rhonda said. "It creates." And so Azalea spent the night by the river, singing, laughing, and learning the ways of sound. She tapped on smooth stones and listened to how the river shaped the rhythm. She whispered secrets into the water and marveled at the way they returned as songs. By the time the sky began to pale with dawn's first light, Azalea understood something she had never known before. Sound was not just something to hear, it was something to feel, to share, to create.